Hello, welcome to By the Numbers. I'm FM Tahiti, and this has been the first time recorded in about 7 weeks. So if you remember the kind of update on the channel 7-ish weeks ago, can't remember how long it is now, about the little one on the way. They've arrived, they're safe, they're well, they're healthy, they're sleeping over there currently, which is why it's a bit dark. So I'll probably turn the camera off in a little bit, because I don't want to wake them up, although they'll sleep through pretty much anything apart from too much light. So yeah, thanks for sticking around. If you've been still subscribing and watching the back catalogue or catching up with various episodes from the Tahiti series or the Stats series or the By the Numbers series as well, because there's a separate Stats one. This episode is just going to be a recap of the end of the season and kind of where we are now, because you'll notice here it says we're in 2021. We're not. We're in 2028, I think. But I went back to the end of the very first season so we can see kind of what's changed. And the answer really is kind of not much, but we'll do that. And this is just kind of a recap for the end of the season. And then what we'll do going forward is, because I don't really know how often I'm going to get to record, what I might do is Belfast, so I can play the game, more or less. Because I really like playing the Belfast save and I like doing the stats for it, but recording, doing bit by bit, means it's really going to take a while to get through things. What I'm probably going to do is maybe streamline it down to maybe 3 or 4 episodes a season. More if we've got, important games, cup finals, relegation fights, that kind of thing. Relegation fights probably the more realistic of them all. Something, season opener, mid-season match and update where we are, end of season summary, plus maybe an extra stats video kind of in there looking at something in particular, which then means I can play this more because I really like playing the game. It also means I can balance it with the facts, lots going on at work, plus the little one, and also I'm writing and doing other stuff elsewhere, so I want to still be able to do the Tahiti one. And the Tahiti save's going to have more episodes per season still. It's going to be restricted a little bit at the moment whilst I get into the kind of swing of things. But it's still going to have more kind of match focus. We're not really doing any stat stuff there. That's just a kind of career one in Tahiti. But this one's going to be kind of restricted a little bit. So there'll still be episodes, hopefully. It's just we're not going to go and play a couple of matches every 4 or 5 games. It's going to be a little bit shorter than that. Because that's the plan. Let me know what you think to it. If there's any other suggestions for ways for me to do it, happy to listen to them. That's the plan currently. So where are we then? So we got to the end of the season. We survived. We'll go over how that happened. Partly just to refresh my memory, because like I said, it's been 7 weeks since I actually opened any Belfast kind of save. And yeah, apologies if the lighting's really odd on this, but it is what it is for this. So this is the end of the very first season we played with Belfast Celtic. So we had a holiday season for them to come up, which is why it's 2021 rather than 2020. We finished 8th in the, what do we call this one again? The PIL, so the Intermediate League, the very bottom playable league that's in the actual game, the vanilla version of the game. 6 points clear of relegation, so only two wins, clear relegation at this point. We managed it with not the greatest of squads. There are some kind of names that pop up, so Clark pops up again, one of our youth intakes there. You might remember Mullahand, you might remember Noel McManus being quite good. Lynch and Warwick sticking around, so Warwick's a scout for us now in 2028. Niall Gordon is still kicking around, he's one of our youth intakes. And later on we have things like Bonis joining us, but not so much in this season. And by the end of the first season, this is where we kind of were. So our reputation was half a star, semi-professional, 1 basic star for training, 1 basic star for youth, 3 for finances because we were okay, and the club was worth £26,000, still playing in the 1,000 capacity Glen Road Stadium in Belfast. The only sort of trophy or silverware we had was this Northern Irish Amateur Division 1B from 2007. That was actually the one that the Sports and Leisure team won before they became this version of Belfast Celtic. Finance wise, got £159 in the bank. And that's kind of where we were with that. And there's not really much else to look at for this. There's not really much going on here if you look at the names and things like that. TJ Hughes, blast from the past there. But there's not much to judge us by. Semi-pro. And then these aspects here. No icons, no favourite personnel. Just Donegal as our rivals. What I'm going to go and do now is have a look at the current end of season. We'll go through how things have changed and what's actually happened at the end of the season as well. So I'll be back in just a second. 2028, that's gone fast. I managed to skip all of 2020, thankfully. So this is where the end of 2028, 10th position in the league, 35 points. 14 points clear of automatic relegation, 10 points clear of the kind of playoff spot. It's not been bad as a journey. So if we look past kind of 7 seasons or so, it is this one here. So just here, just down here, if you follow my mouse down here, so let's go down. The end of that season, finished there, and it's just been up along there, a couple of promotions. We've won the Intermediate League, we've won the Championship, so we've got 2 titles there. We've got 2 Steel and Sons Cups, which is nice. They're not great cups, but they are cups, we got them. And if we look at what's going on over here, though, you see not much has changed again. So our reputation hasn't shifted. We are still small fry, still semi-professional, still 1 star each for training and youth, still 3 for finances. But the club's now worth 181,000 because I guess of the players would be the reason for that. Bonis is an icon because he's been with us for a while now, hasn't he? He's done some time with us, and we're favoured personnel. Looking at the finances, now we've got £2,600 in the bank. It's a bit more than the 150 odd that we had before, but not much. We've had some heady highs, over 100 grand at various places, but we're not really raking it in. It's not changed much in that sense. And if we go back here, we're still playing in the 1,000-seater Glen Road. We're not necessarily filling this particularly either. And if you look at our kind of history in the Premiership, let's go over here. Oh, I did it like that. There we go. So, finished 10th with 35 points. We had to go to the relegation playoffs and we had 31 points. First season we finished 9th with 5 points. Goal difference fluctuated a little bit, but we're, relegation fodder, although we've managed to keep up, which is good. Which is a big achievement when we consider, I always bring this one up and I'll always bring this one up, but when we look at the team kind of stats, if we look at things like salary per annum, we're better than Ballon and Millard currently, but we used to be down here. We used to be double figures. So I remember when we were around 20-30 grand a year is what we were spending. Spending a lot more now. Spending a little bit more than we should. But we're still pretty far off this. Even Linfield, Glenavon and Ballymena and Glentoran, they're all kind of almost all above 500,000. Way above Fallan by now. Likewise, when you look at things like average attendance, we're half filling the stadium, 51%. We're going for 3 sellouts for some key matches, but we're not going to be building a bigger stadium anytime soon, which is a little bit weird. Because when you look at the club vision, so we're secure, they love us, we're favoured, they're happy with the tempo, happy with the set pieces, they're not reserving judgment on the wage budget, which is good because we're over it. All they want us to do is just stay in the Premiership, but they also want us to get the best youth system in the country. And they want that to be developed. So by the end of the 2032 season, or the 2031-32 season, so in about 4 years' time, they want us to have the best youth system in the country. I'm not sure what they're expecting to happen in between here and then, or now and then. because we've no money, we can't really build anything with our money. So I don't know what they think is going to happen in between here, which means we're going to get all of that money. I think we did have a takeover in Landmarks. Yeah. So we had a consortium takeover a little while ago. I can't remember if I put that in the last video. Let's see. There we go. So targeted, they might invest upwards of £35,000. Fine, they've not. As it turns out. But 35,000, even if they did invest, that isn't us having the best youth system in the country. So we'll have to see how that works. But I'm pretty pleased with how we've done. We've not only got to the Premiership, but we've stayed there. And I can start to see where we could improve. So again, just going back to the league table again. Goal difference, -24. It's not great by any means. But we did have, I mean, it gets worse when you consider we had the top goal scorer for the season. So Eddie Gregg, top goal scorer, 23 goals, broke his leg, which was absolutely gutting. But he's out. But what we managed to do, so schedule here is, with the change in tactic around about December, so from the change tactic around December, we went to 3 up front. So we went to the battering ram, which lacks subtlety. But rather than, we went to the battering ram, we started picking up some points. We still had some terrible games, but it used to feel like we were going to win some. But then we managed to get Alan O'Connor in, and we managed to get Matt McGee in, and we started to pick up goals. And we had a good run here that really helped, and a good run here that helps. I say good run here, okay run. But I feel reasonably, I hate saying this every season, but reasonably optimistic that next season, if we could maybe keep O'Connor and McGee, if Greg comes back from his injury, okay, Conor McGrath, Macquarie, they could potentially come in and do a job. Bonis really is on his last legs, isn't he? But he keeps going there. We've got McLaughlin. We've got some reasonably good strikers according to XG up there. Bonis, we've established, isn't. Gorman's not fantastic from the opportunities we've given him. McGrath and McCree might be reasonable. But using the stats to kind of refine the striking side of it should help. Defensively, we need to improve as well. Because again, if we look at goals against, we didn't have the most goals against. The 2 teams below us did, but by a small margin. And then you see this massive jump. So 22 goals between us and the next highest. Defense is where we need to tighten things up. I'm not sure where we're going to get that. From looking at the squad, we need a better keeper. We've got Ronnie McDonald, who is a favourite, but obviously he's conceded quite a bit. If I get a chance, I'm going to do some XG against for Ronnie McDonald, but basically he's the best we can get currently from what I can see. Strain has been good. McVeigh has been good, but they have had some injuries. Have been getting tired. I just don't know where I'm going to get this extra from. Burns been good. Callion's been good, but off and off. It's tricky. Devlin's also had a lot of time off the pitch because of suspensions and injuries as well. And again, if we look at team stats, the stuff I'm really interested in, got 130 yellow cards, 16 red cards this season, which isn't bad. Where have they put the fouls? So you made 843 fouls, 1,020 tackles, tackle rate of tackle 1 ratio, we're actually all the way down here because we put so many in. we're not necessarily winning them all. But we've got some issues with discipline, but it's just the way we play. In terms of worst discipline, we beat our record previously, I think. So we've got 6 fewer yellow cards, but we've also got 7 more red cards this season. So we've been racking them up there. But defensively, I just think we need better keeper, better options all around, really, for that one. Williamson is good, but we could improve on the right. Got Gavin Little, who's alright, but also got Gary Gregg, Gareth Clark, if you remember, one of our youth intakes from back in the day. Ricky McQuitty is complaining he's wanted elsewhere, and he looks like he should be good, but he doesn't seem to match up to everyone else. He played a lot last season. Maybe we need to give him one more season, but I don't think he'll stick around. So we've got lots of changes to make. It's mainly in defence. I think that we need to make the changes. That's where we'll get the value from the changes. It's bringing down those goals against, so we squeeze out more points and we can get slightly further up. So that's where we are. Stats wise, I'm going to look at the XG against a little bit, but I don't think there's... Well, I'm going to check to see what options we've got, who's interested in coming to us first before I do that. The squad needs trimming of a little bit of fat. There are some players who are good but don't want to wait. So, McQuitty might go because he's not happy. Burns might go because he's missed 44 games. McLaughlin's going to go. My son is waking up. Collins has missed apparently 122 games. Or minus 122 games. He's a youth player, so I don't see how that's quite true. There's a few here and there. Heron maybe, he's not going to make it. Gorman, Bonis, who knows what's going to go on with them. We've not got a huge budget, so we're already over our budget here, but we'll have to see what happens, because if you look at the contracts, they're expiring there. So, Hunter, Burns, Greavy, McQuitty, Coulter, Gorman, Bonis, Dunn. I'll be honest, these could all go. And defence would need some more bodies in anyway. But I don't think we'd be too sad. I'd be kind of sad to see, not Burns, Hunter go. Because he had that one really good season in the Cup for us once. And Greavy, I would be sad to see go as well, because we brought him back. He's been integral, but when you look at his attributes, actually not much of a loss. So these could all go. I just then need to bring in some improvements on the next lot. But yeah, so that's the plan. So thanks very much for watching. I don't know when the next episode's going to be out. I don't know. I'm not going to stick to set dates or however many per week. It's just as and when I can for this. If you've got anything you want me to look at, any stats you want me to talk about, just leave a comment. If you've got any ideas of what I could do with the series, let me know. One of the things I am considering is putting this on my blog instead. So if you go to FM20.com, I've got a blog on there where I talk a bit about stats, tactics, and I've got a story on there, a Football Manager story about Locomotive Leipzig, if you want to look at that. But I was considering maybe I'll just take this and make it a blog post update, because it means I'd have to worry about recording then. Recording causes kind of bottlenecks. But yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you all later.